Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Xan Talk Show. So today's topic is random. So you ask questions, I answer, okay? What today's talk show is gonna be is directed by you. Okay, let's begin. And if you got money, pay me. Super chat or go to PayPal, go to my website, xali.info, and you'll find my PayPal, the specific email address for PayPal. So you go there, pay, and say hi, you paid, and ask your questions. So you'll get a super answer. I'll analyze, give you my thought about whatever question you have. Okay? Today's talk show, if you are new to me, I'm a programmer, I'm a nerd, you can see on my Twitter, and recently I got a blue check, so I started to have a lot kind of new followers. And okay, let me stop this. I have a new followers, and so many of you don't know me, and some of you may not be programmers. So I'm a nerd. I've been programming for about 30 years, and mostly I talk about nerd stuff, programming, usually programming, keyboard. Let me introduce my keyboard. Oh, you didn't see my screen. So you can see here is my Twitter. Recently I got a blue check mark. So let's see if I can find it. Blue check mark, and I started to talk about a lot of things. So I'm a nerd. I've been programming for 30 years, and mostly I talk about keyboard programming, art, philosophy, linguistics, that kind of thing. Artificial intelligence, and for example, this one is amazing. It's generated by artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, the Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion, these are two prominent AI engines that produce photos or drawings, very realistic, okay? And sometimes I talk about politics, USA politics. And so comments and questions, okay? And pay me. So, okay, so if there's no comment and questions, I'm gonna just start random. Okay, so so first of all, let me show you my blue check mark. Okay. By the way, so I bought. I started to talk random. So I'm over 50 years old, and I bought a formal shoe for the first time because I had to attend the wedding of a friend. I rarely participate in social events, but this, I started to, I have to go to a wedding of a friend, so I bought this shoe, Walmart, cheap, okay. But then I realized for the first time, I never wore this formal shoe before, never in my life for the past 50 something years. But then I realized formal shoe got a heel, fucking shit. Formal shoe got a heel, and so I didn't know, so I looked around pictures online. They all got heels. It's pretty bad. Okay, formal shoe, you wear it for the occasion. That's for social norms. That's why you wear it. And suits and tie. I've never in my life worn, not even once, suits or tie. I never worn tie before, but suits, I wore it one time, just last month, one time, for the first time in my life. So anyway, comments and questions, okay, and pay me, okay. So let's see what you guys have. What's your favorite key map? Okay. Oh yeah, let me talk about my keyboard. Introduction to my keyboard today, okay. So I'm using Glove 80 keyboard. I did a review 2 months ago. Fantastic. Okay, Glove 80. So go to my website. Let me show you, okay? So I want to xali.info. Okay, XA code. I have 2 websites right now. Before I have 4 or 5 domains, but now it's just 2. xali.org, that's what you are seeing. Then xali.info, that's this one, okay? Actually, so xali.org and Xali.info. That's my websites. So there are 8,000 original articles on my websites. Xali.info, which is I name it Xa Code, is mostly about technical stuff, programming, mathematics, mostly just programming and mathematics. While the Xali.org, you got a bunch of things. You got wordy English, linguistics, poem, on writing, on technical writing, on etymology, on vocabulary, and so on. So altogether, there are 8,000 articles originally written by me. And because I've been writing it since 1996, that's when I started writing so-called blog on the web. Back then there's no such word yet. So anyway, Xali.org. So you have linguistics, vocabulary, writing, literature, poem, things like that, and human animals and their songs. So there are about 460 articles analyzing lyrics, songs of humanity. If you are a human, you listen, you sing songs. So via the lyrics and the song too. But then you can tell what's going on, what they do, what are they thinking, their, the qualities of humanity. That's what this is about. Human animals and their songs. So you have all kind of different kind of songs. You have pop songs, you have rap, and then you have national anthems, and then you have piano music. Anyway, that's a very interesting topic. Then you have visual arts. Okay, here is all sort of arts in human history. Okay, so you have Asian sculptures. Then you also have natural beauties such as seashells. You have Asian architectures. Lots of things. Okay, then you have modern. You have the memes and the e-girls. That's modern stuff. Then you have 4chan stuff. All sort of things. Then you have old sculpture. For example, extremely beautiful sculptures. This is a marble. Okay, this is very old. And then, so you can see the full glory, and this is pertains to history, Western history to be exact, and moreover Greek. Okay, so this Roman, this is the tale, the rape of Sabines. Okay, that's a story. Okay, the rape of Persephone. Okay, I don't know exactly what is the story here. But anyway, Persephone, queen of the underworld, abduction of Persephone by Hades. Oh, okay, so this is a king of the hell, king of the underworld hell, and grabbed, or so-called seduction. That's so that relates to sexual behavior of humanity. This is a kind of Asian story. Okay. Like today in modern times, you talk about dating websites, date rape, blah blah blah, and so that's related. That's you can observe, you can see. When you read old stories, you can see how human animals do. What's dating? What's the American concept of and the word American jargon? Dating is, what does it mean? The male and female relationships, courtship, things like that. And so besides sculpture, but on the surface you see this sculpture, that's art. Okay, this is extreme mastery, one of the greatest sculpture, masterpiece in human history. So I look as a nerd, I look at them, study them. Then there's also lurid stuff you'll see often. For example, this Victor's Way, you see. And there's a word for this thing, this thing. basically colloquially, or what 4chan would say, what we would say, just vagina with teeth. Okay, that's what that is. But anyway, there's not much significance to those kind of things, So this also a lyric stuff, Sometimes you wonder when you look at artwork, like vast majority of them, more than 70%, is about girls, young, nubile girls, not about old women. 90% of artwork you see every day in movies too, like modern today, or even on Twitter, on social network, on Facebook, on Instagram, in particular Instagram, it's all, wait, I mean, talking all this, do you see, guys? Oh, yeah, okay, you can see my screen, right? So, so on Instagram, and also AI work, today you have, for example, these are drawings by AI. Incredible, okay? AI are generating them 1 million of it per second. This is done completely by AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so it's something big is happening, this year, 2023. Amazing. That's a big giant topic, and we don't know what will happen. Okay, all these are generated by AI. So the immediate thought is that it's wiping out artists or something. Not really. The one of the the pop thought is that AI is gonna it's gonna wipe out a lot of jobs, and actually things are more complicated than that. Okay. So when you want to know something, you have to think deep. Okay, don't listen to whatever pop, whatever the drama, clickbaits. That's what they do. So anyway, so I was talking about my website. So you have all kind of sculptures, and this one, Monkey King. This is this is Asia, China, basically. Very popular story, as popular and well known as Mickey Mouse. This is almost like in Asia. Okay, the full title is Journey to the West, or sometimes known as Monkey King. So this is a cultural Chinese or Eastern Asia's story that is almost analogous, or in terms of popularity, analogous to Greek mythology, Zeus, or the Europe, Europe is named after the girl Europa, who got abducted by Zeus, the the king of the god of all gods, Zeus. So here so in Asia, in China, they have their own stories. So this is one of them. And they, then there's a modern version, modern drawings of the fable. So this pig is one of the primary character. so this painting is interesting because it illustrates this Asian story, but via the Greek mythology kind of style. In Greek mythology, you have, what's the guy's name? And all these girls are nymphs. So in this Journey to the West, this pig is a character. He's a monk, actually, and these girls, these are spider. How do you say? You can kind of call them spider nymphs. Okay, they are not good. They are evil. So anyway, but this pig character, this monk, is into lust. He's into getting girls. So you have this, and it's very well done. Okay, this artwork painting. And there's another one. Okay, so anyway, I'm talking about my website. Which in particular this art section, so art throughout history, that's my interest. This is not a academic undertaking. It just happens to come by. For example, then you have the League of Legends of you gamers. Is there any questions and comments? Pay me, okay, to get your super chat, to get your super answers. Hello guys, Sergio and Miles and JR. Rap is trash analytic minded. It seems to me that computers are limited to what they can formally derive, but human minds can find truth of mathematics that are not derivable or provable. Yeah, that's. Do you think that AI will really reach the point where it is indistinguishable from the human mind? That's a good question. Okay, and that is the most important and popular eternal question. The question is, will AI become human-like? In other words, in AI field, it's called strong AI, or on Twitter they call it AGI, which stand for artificial general intelligence. Okay, but basically that means AI will obtain its own mind. It becomes a man, basically. It has its own consciousness. So when that happens, AI becomes an entity with its own soul. We don't know exactly what that is. Okay, we don't know, and we don't know is that possible or not. It's been a big debate over the past 50 or so years. Will AI obtain, AGI, artificial general intelligence, or also called strong AI, or you can just think of it as a AI with a soul by itself. So when that happens, first of all, this is a big question, but you rarely see people talk about it because most people don't know things. But this is a big question. So being debated by mathematicians, by logicians, by the greatest physicists, for example, the Stephen Hawking, who passed away a few years ago, the one on a wheelchair, by all the great minds, there's a debate, and we do not know whether it's possible or not. Today you might say, oh, look at, or ChatGPT, or, it's going to happen. It's going to happen next year. Elon Musk is a big fan of that. He kind of think of it that way. But so the scientists or the greatest thinkers, they do not agree. Okay, so we don't have one answer. We don't know. And if you ask me, my opinion is that I don't know either. So I'm not in the camp of saying it will happen, nor am I in the camp saying that it is impossible. Okay, so I'm mixed. Okay, my opinion is that I do have an opinion, and I do have a strong opinion. Okay, I'm gonna tell you I'm right. My opinion is the best answer, and that opinion happens to be I don't know which it's gonna happen or not. Okay, so AGI, strong AI, or AI with a soul, we don't know if it will happen or not. We don't know if it's possible. We have to see. So, but there's one thing I think will happen. I mean, if it happens, if one day, maybe in next 5 years or 10, if AI obtains consciousness or self-awareness, there are many terms to, we cannot even define it. You see, we cannot even, in a mathematical or scientific way, to define what does intelligence mean. Because right now, the ChatGPT and all that, they don't know what they're doing. Especially like ChatGPT. You ask him a question, he can answer, seems right, but he doesn't know. The ChatGPT doesn't really understand the question. So, he just basically mirror the whole internet's information. So anyway, that's another topic. But at least they can do great. Right now they can do great poems, and they can do great drawings, better than human, and 1,000 of them per second. So anyway, so any more comments and questions? Keep the comments going, okay? So I'm still going, right? Yeah. So I digress to AI. So let me go back to my website, introduction to my website. So for example, here's a gamers art, League of Legends, not gamers art, but the commercial, enterprise. They create this League of Legend is one of the worst game, the game I don't like, okay? You see, when you look at the picture, this is great artwork. You see all these League of Legends. Each one of these characters is supposed to be great heroes or heroines, so they are legends. But you get so many of them, but they are just basically dramatized superheroes, like Superman. It's silly, but the game, you look at this girl, but all the girls, and anyway, but the game is not like this at all. It's not even a 3D game. So you have, anyway, League of Legends, and because of the rise of China, so you started to have Chinese characters. Look at her. Oh, legs, pretty. You see this weapon? This weapon, this axe is a weapon, an axe with Chinese characteristics. You see, in Western axe, you don't get this. What's the technical name for this thing? But in Chinese weapons, you usually do have those. So, and you have this moon-shaped thing. So anyway, art, you started to have these Chinese characters. And look at the hookah. How do you call that? Pipe. For cigar, for smoking cigar. That's also, I suppose that looks like opium, thing. But anyway, then you have, so this girl, you can see it represents the American culture, this character. So I'm not really a gamer. Well, I was in the 90s or in the 80s, but not in the modern sense of gamer, because the modern games I haven't played. I'm getting old. So anyway, so you have this character that would kind of represent the American culture of the past 10 years. This character, what's her name? Each character has a name. And, so there are two things I want to mention. For example, one of the characteristics you can see in the artwork is the stars and stripes. Bra, that's what, the motif, stars and stripes, that's America. And then, but however, note this very interesting thing. You see this thing, this cloud kind of artwork on her body. That's Chinese, okay? That's Chinese from the Monkey Kings we talked about before, that Monkey Kings thing. That's very Chinese. So it's interesting you started to see, Chinese stuff mixed in the artwork. Okay, this is a mistakenly Chinese motif, this cloud. This cloud is where, when you just search for Monkey King comics or cartoon, you'll start to see lots of this cloud motif. Okay, the League of Legends, then so you got so I'm introducing my the art section of my website. Then you have Starbucks logo, this dramatic Starbucks logo, the origin of which is a mermaid splitting her legs. Okay, then today, then in Middle East, it's changed, of course, because they cannot allow that, the American thing. And also to the Zoomers, they try to hide the origin of this mermaid splitting her legs. Okay, then so amazing art, and these are drawn by people. And today, you can get AI to draw them. It's just amazing. Then we started to have more explicit. I don't want to show it, okay, in case Google is gonna censor me. Hey, welcome to my stream. Okay, anything else, guys? Say something, okay? Okay, so I started. Okay, so mermaids, Starbucks logo, and then lots of things. Here is another Pretty Girls, the Ghost in the Shell, the most famous Japanese story, Ghost in the Shell, the original drawing. It's always a pretty girl and naked. And today, not just today, ancient too. You can think of this. This is the poem of the past few hundred years. This would be. And this one is 1862, around there, 1889. Okay. And lots of artwork and stuff, and then you have modern things, Rage Comics, and so on. Okay, that's my art website. Then you have Second Life. I spent 4 years in Second Life, living in it just about every day, and learned the Second Life technology. Quite incredible. Okay, this is around year 2018, 2017, Second Life, and today you have Metaverse. Okay, that's some introduction to my website, I guess. I was not planning to talk about this, but that's how I just flowed over there, but because there's no questions. There's a question, do you read much? Ever tried e-link devices? I read every day. I read, if you have seen my video, I've talked about many times, there's one dedicated video about Wikipedia. So I read Wikipedia every day for an hour or more since 30 years ago. Before there's Wikipedia, Britannica and so on. So there's a video, you can search YouTube, Wikipedia, encyclopedia, and about that. And I read, and my favorite, so in the 90s, I read a lot of literature and programming, of course. Besides programming and mathematics, textbooks is one of my favorite literature, okay, textbooks, like the textbooks you use in college, because textbooks is the condensed information of the past 100 or 1,000 years of specific topic. No nonsense. If you want to know math or physics, you just spend a few hours or a month reading one thing. You learned everything human animals know about that topic for the past 2,000 years. Textbooks, okay? So the physics, chemistry, math, that's what I love the most. In the 90s, okay? And also, so besides textbooks, math, and physics and philosophy, I also read, I used to read a lot literature, okay? So that's where you'll see, for example, literature classic. This is some of them I have collected on my website and also commented on it. Arabian Nights, Flatland, Time Machine by H.G. Wells, the tragedy of Titus Andronicus. This is Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare. Before that, I heard people talking about Shakespeare, like, well, what are they talking about? But turns out I love Shakespeare, okay? Shakespeare's writing, I love it. The wordplay, he's used, I love it. Alice in Wonderland and Gulliver's Travels, where the Indianness came from, in programming. And actually, Gulliver's Travel is one of the most boring. I don't like it, really. So anyway, besides this modest proposal by Jonathan Swift, Little Riding Hood, Cupid and Psyche, another Greek mythology, a great love story, Cupid and Psyche, okay, written by this guy in year 123 BC, so 2,000 years ago. And To Build a Fire by a great American writer, Jack London. Then also this To Build a Great Fire, a short story, fantastic. Go check it out. You can finish it in 20 minutes. Okay, a great story, survival to build a fire. And you can see my annotations. Okay, I did some. Did I turn on JavaScript? Yeah, turn on JavaScript. Turn on JavaScript, and I also wrote the JavaScript so you can have annotations. You see, I wrote the JavaScript. Then Adventure of a German Student. This is also a great story, horror story by Washington Irving, American writer. The Adventure of a German Student. Lovely story. Very short. You can finish in 10 minutes. Okay. So I love it, and The Mask of the Red Death, Edgar Allan Poe. The Mask of Red Death. This fantastic, great story. You can compare it to COVID-19 of the past 2 years. The Mask of the Red Death. Oh, what a horror. Just 2 years ago, what horror it is. And then the 1002nd Tale of Scheherazade and Bertrand Russell. So I used to read a lot of literature. Also, I read in the 90s. I read Stephen King a lot. Stephen King turns out, I think he's corrupted, like he's on Twitter doing stuff. I think he's corrupted guy, it turns out. But anyway, in the 90s, I read quite a few Stephen King's novels, horror story. And Stephen King's novels, that's when I was learning English, and Stephen King, comparatively, it's shallow. Okay, it's like monsters and horror stories. Comparatively, it's shallow. Okay, all these works I just talked about, they are greater than Stephen King's. Okay. So in the 90s, I read Stephen King's and Charles Dickens, and what's the female Emily something? What's a poet and I think also a lesbian. No comments? Say something, guys. So Jane Austen, okay, UK British writer Jane Austen. I wanted to read her works, but never did. She wrote Pride and Prejudice, and others. Her novels are similar. Okay. Emily Bronte. No, I don't know who that is. The one I was thinking. So Jane Austen. That's one of the work I wanted to read, but I never did. Then there's Emily Dickinson. That's the one I'm thinking. Emily Dickinson, poet. Okay, so I read a few of her poems. I think it's great. And so, yeah, basically those are, in the 90s, those are the great literatures. Today it's kind of dead. Today in USA, it's fully corrupted. You don't hear people talking about these great works anymore. Every day it's on Twitter and they talk about shit. That's amazing. Rights and shit. Jesus. So great literatures, great literatures in English, and also the War and Peace. And some of the greatest Russian writers, the War and Peace, Dostoevsky, what's his name, and several great writers from Russia. War and Peace is one of them, and help me out, say something, comment, okay. And what's the then there's another one. It began such as every great family are alike, every happy family are alike, but every unhappy family have different story. So that's a great. The novel's title is a girl's name. I forgot what it is. So Russian, literature, and then there's also great French literature. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I also never read. So anyway, so I love those. So in the 90s, I read those. Okay, but starting around 2005, I didn't read. I basically didn't read any novels, any fictions. Also, science fiction. I almost never read any science fiction, and for example, Dune. I would like to read maybe, but now I'm too old. I got other things to do. I gotta study homotopy type theory and neural networks. A lot of things to study, so I don't have time to read novels anymore. I don't read them because I'm getting old. I don't have. I need to do something differential geometry. I need to algebraic geometry and so on. And then so around 2005, I actually stopped reading any physical books. So today I don't read any. I don't read any physical books. Everything is just online. And also I stopped reading textbooks. Textbooks was my great joy, but I stopped reading any textbooks because I prefer encyclopedia instead, and Wikipedia is one of the most easy to access. Of course, Wikipedia has lots of problems. When you talk about Wikipedia, some people will say, "Oh, don't read Wikipedia. Oh, that you should read text." Idiots. Okay, Wikipedia, yeah, it's got lots of flaws, but it's one of the greatest. In fact, it's one of the best encyclopedia, except any current events or political topics. Those are shit. Okay, those are pure shit. So if you want to know about China US relation or trans or LGBT fuck or guns or gender, whatever that is, or any current topic, do not read Wikipedia. It's all shit. Okay, but on anything else that's not current topic, that when you say it, people don't know what you're talking about, such as physics, mathematics, differential geometry, programming, deep programming, not just the introduction to Python, but algorithms, for example, computer science, neural networks, and also old Chinese history or old American history or world history, then Wikipedia is the greatest resource. Okay, Wikipedia. So I stopped reading any paper books. I prefer, because encyclopedia, it's very concise. You can read a lot. You can jump around. You can of course you have to do not just read Wikipedia and that's it. Okay, so Wikipedia, they usually have references. So you want to verify when you try to read something. For example, let's pick random. This Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Okay, great work. One of my favorite fiction. Time Machine by H.G. Wells. So you want to know who is H.G. Wells? What has he done? So you can check Wikipedia to begin with. Okay, that's just to begin with. Then you can. So you want to put yourself in the mindset. You are going to verify it. This is a piece of information. You're gonna start to check every detail. Are these what kind of once you read a lot with encyclopedias, you do have a sense what is true or what is not true, or what they are trying to persuade you to in some other perspective. Okay, you kind of develop that. So I guess that answers your question about what kind of. So I do not. So e-ink, I happens to never read any ebook. Okay, I started to have. I never read any ebooks actually. It's just HTML. Okay, so. And category theory, I do not recommend. Okay, I think category is shit. Instead, you want to read homotopy type theory. Okay. Okay, maybe Anna Karina. Thank you. Zesen. Hey, Zesen. Long time no see. Anna Karina. Yeah, that's a great book. I think I never read it. Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't have time these days. But I think that's a great book I would enjoy. Maybe that's it for today. So I've been talking for 40 minutes. Any comments and anything else? This week I found out homotopy type theory, another contender. No, homotopy type theory is the new foundation for mathematics, the modern take. Okay, not category theory is not. Okay, so if your interest is really about foundation of math, go into homotopy type theory or programming. Category theory is no good. Okay. It's popular just because Haskell, the idiotic programmers, they are talking about it every day, and 90% of it is just wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. You ask them the basic mathematics, they don't know. They don't know what's algebraic geometry. They don't know what's a group. These programmers, but they're gonna Haskell. They're gonna type Haskell category theory. Idiots. Okay. Okay, so what else I want to say, okay, about my website. So keyboard, I forgot to introduce my keyboard. Okay, so it's supposed to happen in the beginning of the video. So this is Glove 80, okay. Search my website, you'll find my reviews and video reviews. And this is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, okay, version 2. I also did the video review, so both of them are great, fantastic, okay. And here is my old buddy Kinesis Advantage 2. It's also great. I would use it, but I've been using this for 7 years, so I take a break and I try the new things. Okay, and I probably will have a review of the Kinesis Advantage 360. Okay, that's a newer version of this. Just came out this year. God, I got too many. Okay, so watch my videos. I'll have a review of that. Have you watched any videos by Isaac Author? Are you talking about the science fiction writer? No, that's Isaac Asimov, right? I don't know who is Isaac Author. He's a science communication YouTuber and futurist. He's best known as a producer of his YouTube channel, Science. Okay, I don't know who he is. No, I don't think I've never ever. But I would immediately say I probably wouldn't watch any of his stuff. I don't know. It depends on what, because today you have a million YouTubers, most of them, vast majority, I would say 99% of them, YouTubers, they are just idiotic crap, so this guy, how many almost a million followers, okay, so yeah, it doesn't matter, especially the YouTuber stars, a million or 2 million followers, most of them are extremely crap. Okay, they are just shit all over, for shit from their mouth. Okay, I don't know if that's the case for this guy, but I'm not gonna watch it. So because I need my time to spend on actual real stuff. Okay, if I in science fiction, I don't have too much interest about science fiction. So what is he about? Fermi paradox, great filter, space and time. So is he talking about science fiction, or is he talking about real science? If he's talking about real science, I will not watch it. If I want to know about Fermi paradox or whatever shit or space-time, you read physics. Okay, that's my style. You read physics, from the basic physics to quantum mechanics to relativity to whatever. I don't follow this YouTube fuck. Unless he's a professor of physics, then maybe, because there are a lot of professor of physics, then depends on his skill of presentation and what is he accomplished. Of course, first of all, if I'm going to watch any YouTube professors, he gotta be an accomplished professor, not just random professor of random. I mean, even from known universities. So you gotta be accomplished and you gotta have great skill presentation. Then you watch them, because there are a lot. There are thousands of them. You gotta spend your time, carefully. So if he's science fiction, I mean, it could be fun. So I don't know. I don't know who is this guy. So I don't want to make judgment. But it could, it could be fun. I also do watch sometimes brainless stuff, or if you go to YouTube, lots of random stuff. He talks about what the future of humanity may be like with our current understanding of physics, with some sprinkles of sci-fi sometimes. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I might check it out. It's fun. So it's not all just it's fun. Sometimes I watch fun stuff. Like my channel. I'm not I'm not a physicist myself, and so on. Okay, maybe that's it for today. So let me get back to what anything else I want to talk about. So did I finish the you guys didn't see my web. Yeah, so I was talking about who is this guy, Isaac Arthur. So anyway, so yeah, keyboards, okay. Glove 80, Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, great. Okay, that's it. I think let's see what else. We shut down in 5 minutes, I think. Okay, that's it. No more questions. So there's a question: QWERTY, dvorak, or colemak? My preference is dvorak, because I've been using dvorak keyboard since 1994. Okay, dvorak keyboard. So you can just go to my Xadi keyboard blog. Let's magnify. By the way, this is energy drink and juice. Cheers. Cheers to the year of the AI. We're gonna die. Why Emacs and not Vim? What you guys are talking about? Random questions. Why Emacs are? That's one of the most silly question. If you want me to address that, pay me. Then I'll give you the most trite question. Why Emacs not Vim? Or why Vim not Emacs? Thank you, Aaron. So QWERTY dvorak, so QWERTY dvorak versus colemak. I don't like colemak, okay, because colemak is the guy. I began using dvorak in 1994. Before that, I was typing on QWERTY since 1988. 1988, I started to touch type on QWERTY on a mechanical electrical typewriter. I love typing, okay? 1988, I started to type on QWERTY. Then I read about, typing. There's no internet back then, but I read books, Oh, this QWERTY is very inefficient. Let me show you a page. QWERTY is very inefficient. So I started to do, I learned about, so you want to go to layout. So here's QWERTY, here's dvorak, here's colemak. So 1994, I started to learn dvorak because I'm an efficiency nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm concerned about efficiency and design. These two things you'll find, that's my thing I'm concerned about throughout whatever I do. Programming language design, efficiency of code, algorithms, efficiency of algorithms design or Unicode, So efficiency and design, that's one of the two top things, and artworks, that's two aspects I'm obsessed about. So I learned about dvorak, so I decided I'm not going to stick with the QWERTY fuck, the lousy, brainless, it so happens it stuck. So I started to learn dvorak, 1994. I relearned QWERTY. It took me 2 months, very painful, because every keystroke is a mistake, because your muscle memory wired into your neurons is QWERTY. So I took me 2 months, 3, to start to learn dvorak. So, but around year 2005. Okay. So anyway, I have so you want to know about colemak? 2005. There's a new kid in town, this guy, colemak guy. He started to babble about, dvorak is not efficient. I create a new one called colemak. And this is why it's more efficient than dvorak, this guy. I don't like this guy. Okay. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't know about the guy, but the fact that he's the guy who pushed for colemak, a new keyboard layout, more supposedly he claims to be more efficient than dvorak. Not so. Okay, I have an article tells you why. Okay, but anyway, he basically, in a sense, it's good. Okay, he started the innovation. He started to rethink about the key mapping. So he's the guy responsible for all the other subsequent key maps. It became a thing. So a lot of people started to research into what is the most efficient keyboard layout. So you have new colemak even in 2016, and lots of, and Ngram 2021, Ngram layout. So anyway, colemak is the guy who began it, because he pushed for it. He created colemak. In some sense, it's more efficient than dvorak, but then he created a website, he created a forum, so a lot of people joined to talk about it. Then he pushed it into the Mac. He started to get people on Apple, who works for Apple, to make Apple to have a colemak key layout by default. He's an activist kind of. So and he began the new look into keyboard layout. So in a sense, he's a contribution to the keyboard efficiency issue, a contributor. But on the other hand, to me, he's pushing for colemak. Meanwhile, what he did is that, so before, instead you have dvorak, very efficient. So it's kind of like universal. So let's stop using QWERTY because it's inefficient. So let's have one universal. Every language can also use this. But he started a diversion. So that's one point of view. This colemak guy started a diversion. So now, when you find out QWERTY is bad, then you have different choices. So it makes it less likely for people to have one efficient standard for keyboard layout, because now you have so many. The colemak claims he is the best. Then you have the original dvorak. Then that's what division. That's what he created, the division. And according to him, he says colemak is better than dvorak. Not so. No, I don't necessarily agree. Depends on what kind of input you use. Okay. And yeah, it's better in some way, but very tiny a bit, okay? In your whole life's typing, you can make that, that little betterment when it applies. It's not too useful, okay? But you create a diversion, so now it's even less likely for the word to get rid of the inefficient QWERTY. Okay, that's how I see it. So I don't like this guy. But since he created, colemak, then people created colemak DH that's supposed to fix the problem of colemak. Then people created Walkman 2010. This is the first one, who tried to fix the problem of colemak. You see, keyboard layout is a funny thing. It's there's no exact science, because you can rearrange them, then it becomes better in some way but worse than the other. So people created Walkman, then people created this by a machine algorithm, QFMLWY 2011. Then people created Hallmark. This is supposedly more general result, more efficient. Then 2021 silly. Okay. So I stick with dvorak. If you ask me, my opinion is dvorak. Okay, bye guys. If you want to know about Glove 80, watch my videos, okay? Because I don't want to repeat, Thank you guys for watching. Pay me, okay? Pay me. So you go to xali.info and you can find Patreon me, Amazon gift card me. You have to use this link, okay? US Amazon. If you use German Amazon or Japan, I don't get the money. I am unable to get the money. So Amazon gift card, US Amazon, or PayPal me, okay? Or you can buy my Emacs tutorial, my Emacs tutorial, Emacs Lisp tutorial, and JavaScript in depth. Okay, this is the best JavaScript tutorial in depth and JavaScript reference in English. Okay, there are about 2 or 3. I would say there are 3 JavaScript in-depth books published as books by great JavaScript experts that are that are competitive to my JavaScript in-depth. So anyway, so of course I would say mine is the best. Concise, to the point, lots of examples, no jargons, okay? JavaScript in depth. You can pay me and you get it. Bye guys.